Hi folks, welcome back to another installment of Travis Does Firewood. You probably look around here behind me and in the backyard, something have changed. So I know I've done some work that's not on camera, but don't worry, it's nothing too important. So hope it's raining on us a little bit. But yeah, so welcome back. I got another order for a larger quantity of firewood in a cage, and I realized I don't think I had a video of me loading a cage of firewood. So again, as a reminder, I think I'm going to switch to selling mostly lower quantities of wood in the bundles and the racks. But I have in the past sold large quantities, and I sell them in the ICB Tote cages, which I think you can see right there. That's one of the newer ones I have that I need to clean, which is another video coming up soon. But yeah, so I have two empty cages with plastic in them, and I use that as my gauge to sell, as opposed to some like arbitrary, like I fill up the back of my truck flush with the top, or I sell a half cord or a face cord or a full cord, and then I get there and the people are like, well, that doesn't look like a full cord. So just make sure that like me and the customer is on the same page. I fill up a cage worth of wood, and I did like the calculations incorrectly last time when I was selling it last year. I recalculated, and it's about a third of a cord, and I sell that. And the prices vary based on if it's hardwood or softwood, but my cedar I price the same as my hardwood, just because, excuse me, in my opinion, it's a premium wood, and it's specialized wood for people to burn. I usually sell cedar into kindling in little bundles now, but I do sell it in bulk. That is split and processed and stacked and traditional split, like a normal split would look like. So I label it as traditional split. So I'm going to start loading up my truck with the cage. I use my aluminum cage for my truck when I load it. When I go on deliveries, or at this point for this sale, we're going to load the cage in the truck and then load the wood into the cage that's in the truck, and I'll drive it from my backyard, which is down the hill, to the front of my driveway, where the customer is going to come and load it from the cage into his truck. Which, yes, it's a lot of touching with the wood. Some of you don't want to do too much. Here comes the rain. But again, that's how that's my unit of measurement when I go to sell my wood. So far I haven't had too many complaints. So yeah, so let's go ahead and start to load the cage and then start loading firewood. Let's do it. All right, so as you can see, cage is loaded. I was gonna say I use my aluminum one from my truck because it's lighter than my steel one that's empty. I have two cages that are empty, one aluminum and one steel, and obviously this steel is heavier, so it's lighter to load. I use my steel one when I have to tow the trailer with a cage, so I have one cage in the truck, one cage in the trailer, to make, I guess, 2/3 of a cord to deliver. But since I'm just loading in the truck, it's easier, lighter. So yeah. So the next thing I want to do is I need to check the moisture content of the cedar. Let's go back here real quick. This wood is in the way. We will get to it in another video. But so in here we have some scrap pieces and some traditional cut that may be too difficult to get to. This stuff here was from, let's see here, this was split and stacked January of this year. This stuff here from trees. So let's check, let's split and check some of this stuff. I'm going to use my mini moisture meter, Harbor Freight, because I can't find my other one still. Yeah, so split two pieces from the cedar scrap pile over here. Let's test this bad boy out. And so first one is going to be at 20, 25, 26, 25 on the inside. This piece is at 14, 14, 14. So within range, I would say 25 is okay, and then of course like 14. That's great. All right, so let's try the other stack. All right, 2 pieces again from the pile that I mentioned that was from set and stack this past summer. So those were from rounds. The other one, the 2 pieces that I measured just before this was from cedar scrap that I get from my cedar guy. So it had already been bucked and into. Most of them were already like into like bigger pieces, like the 14 by 14 type beams, and then he cut them up to size as needed, and then I cut them up to split. So they were already pretty much on their way to being dry initially. These pieces were definitely, they were down recently and I split them. So let's check this one out. The inside, let's see here. Oh, turn back on. Let's go 27, 26, or 27 again, 27. And this one, 28, 27, oh, come on, 20 or so. So I'm gonna say the cedar scrap pieces are a little bit drier. Even though they're back their ways, it's a little harder to get. I'm gonna load that stuff. I should have enough for 1 cage at least. It's just kind of buried back there. It's just a bummer, but I need to take more time to stack and prep, so when I do go to load these loads, it's not as difficult or time consuming. All right, so it's loading time. In 1 second, I'll set you up, and then we'll fast forward and rock and roll. So usually I am backed up right to where the wood is, but because I have a bunch of wood in front of me that I haven't yet processed, it's going to take a little longer. So bear with me, but I'll start loading right now. Guys, I'm not sure when the GoPro cut out. I think this is what the GoPro, I don't know, 7 black. I'm sure there's a few generations since then. I don't know when it cut out, but I don't know if you can see that, but the wood is stacked in there. Let me go up the hill real quick and I'll show you around. Let's do it. Open the window and you can watch the drive up. You can see that. We're high. Alright, so there she is, the loaded cage of cedar. So what I do is I put the cage in long ways, and then my wood is more or less 16 and 16. Then I put shorter pieces or scrap pieces in the middle, 2 rows from passenger to driver. In the middle, they're vertical, to kind of fill in the gap, so it's more or less full. And I really try hard within reason, time-wise, to make sure there's not a lot of air gaps, so it's a full cage. And then because this is a repeat customer, to make sure they were all good at the very end, I heaped it on top a little bit, just loose stuff, some bigger pieces, because I believe he's going to be reselling this to one of his clients. I think it's landscaping or something like that. And anyway, like, I want to make sure that his customers are gonna be happy. I don't mind being a third party or whatever. So I'm not sure where it cut out in the camera, but this is the process. It does take a while to do, but I think that the ICB tote is the way to go. Ideally, I would have them already staged and have like a bobcat with forks on it to move on the truck and then drive it up, or drive all the way up here to offload, etc. But that wasn't too much, and then it's a little workout for me. So yeah, this is ready to go. He should be here in the next hour to pick up, and maybe I'll videotape that as well, so stay tuned. So it was loaded in the truck, and I parked it up top, as you saw. Then I was down in my basement doing work, and got a ping from the guy, and he was here, and we offloaded it in his trailer, and off he went. I think he was in a hurry, and I wanted to make sure that he wasn't delayed, so I didn't bring out my camera. I didn't ask him permission to record. It was a really quick thing. I mean, it's definitely takes more time to load and stack the cage in the truck than it is to offload. And then because he was loading it into a trailer and it wasn't stacked, it was just loosely thrown in, we were able to kind of tip the cage into the trailer and kind of dump it, so it wasn't like a full hands-on everything. So yeah, he's going to sell it to one of his customers, probably for the same price that he bought it for. Not that this matters to me. He did ask for a credit card, and since this is like a side thing, I don't deal with credit cards. It's all, I mean, cash mostly, or yeah, cash basis. So hope that doesn't mess up his whatever resale too much. But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to sign off on this video. So I guess that's the process. Again, I'm not sure how far along it cut out on the battery when I was loading, but I mean, you got the gist of it for the most part of how it goes, and then I showed you how I stack it in terms of the rows in the vertical and in the very middle. Yeah, so that's the whole process of loading the cage. It's the same thing with the steel one, but in the trailer, it's pretty much the same dimension, 1/3 of a cord. I guess that's a face cord. You call it face cord, 1/3 of a cord? A face cord? Let me know what you call it in your neck of the woods region. So yeah, if you have any questions or to add a comment, please add a thing below. Go on thumbs up if you like it, and for sure subscribe to the channel. And more to come in the future. Thank you very much. Have a good day. Cheers.